Overseas, Allied troops swept through France, but leaders knew the Germans would not surrender quietly. In December 1944, Hitler launched a major German surprise offensive, which began one of the bloodiest and fiercest battles of the war, the Battle of the Bulge. Fought in the Ardennes forest in Belgium, France, and Luxembourg, Allied troops were caught off guard by the Germans. There they suffered the highest casualties of all battles in the war. Most Erie veterans who fought in the European theater remember the fierce combat and the frigid and harsh conditions of the battle.
One night my sergeant woke us up, told us the Germans were breaking through the line. And we thought he got something to drink and he was pulling a trick on us, you know. So we didn't fall out, we went back to sleep, but he goes back in and said the Germans breaking through the line, they're moving out. So we jumped in they had these big long trucks with a flatbed like this, with high sides up, where they haul a lot of equipment up to the front, you know. And we got in those big long trucks. They loaded us up and rushed us up there into the Battle of the Bulge, and it was just starting to snow.
The weather was so bad that we lost so many men that got frostbitten, and their feet were getting frozen, and they were taken back to the rear. But I was very fortunate because during the Bulge, I always carried an extra pair of socks in next to my body. And every night I would take my socks, which I wore all day, and change them. And that kept me from getting frostbite.
On Christmas Eve, we flew onto the continent to some airstrip in Belgium. The temperature was in the teens, and we landed there about the stroke of midnight on Christmas Eve, and they loaded us up on tractor-trailer trucks, no covers. There were some covered trucks, but the officers rode in them. 3 hours, bitter cold, and we ended up on the front lines and relieved the 28th Division, which was a Pennsylvania division, who got beat up. There was the Bulge had been going on for 9 days, and that's how we got into combat.
Being in the 4th Infantry Division, we were on the front line, and we held. And the 28th Division was to our left. And to the left of the 28th Division was the 1st Division. And they also held. So the 28th Division got the brunt of the Battle of the Bulge.
For 6 weeks, we never were inside any kind of building or tent or nothing. We slept. We had 2 feet of snow. Snow was our blanket.
So we went up there, and we just dug in, and the German tanks were coming towards us. Well, there was a river there, and the Germans were coming on this side, and some American soldiers were in the front of running to try to get away from the Germans. And then the Germans started attacking us, and we was on high ground, and we held off, and one knocked out 2 tanks with a 57 anti-tank gun.
I was very fortunate to live through the Battle of the Bulge.
You would say, from going from heaven in the other H.